Welcome back to Surrey Supernatural. Today I've got another chilling tale for you, straight from the dark corners of Surrey's past. If you're new here or returning, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. It really helps me bring you more creepy local stories, just like this one. We begin just outside of Guildford in the quiet village of Shalford. Back in 1709, a local miller named Christopher Slaughterford lived there. He was engaged to a farmer's daughter named Jane Young, and by all accounts they were happily planning a future together. One evening the couple went for a walk. Slaughterford later claimed he had walked Jane home and waved her goodbye at the front door, but that was the last time she was seen alive. A body was later discovered dumped in a nearby ditch. With no clear suspects and only circumstantial evidence, suspicion quickly fell on Christopher. There was no proof, only the fact that he was the last person to see her alive. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't well liked in the village, and when it came time for the trial, local prejudice may have sealed his fate. On July the 9th, Slaughterford was hanged in Guildford Town Centre, convicted of Jane Young's murder, despite the lack of solid evidence. But the story doesn't end there. Just a month later, a man who worked with Slaughterford at the mill was found dead, having taken his own life. Investigators learned that this man had also been missing on the night Jane was murdered. So did he carry a guilty conscience? Or was he the true killer, burdened by remorse after letting an innocent man die in his place? Or was it just simply an eerie coincidence? To this day, Christopher Slaughterford's ghost is said to haunt the area. Witnesses have reported seeing a figure walking from the site of his execution to his former home, carrying a staff and a burning torch. However, with all the traffic and modern development in the area, sightings have grown rare. Perhaps his spirit has finally found peace, or perhaps he still walks the path unseen in the bustle of modern life. Our next tale takes us to a hauntedly beautiful place just outside Guildford, the ancient church of St Martha on the hill. Perched high above the surrounding countryside, this isolated church can only be reached on foot, adding to this mysterious aura. It stands along the historic Pilgrims Way, and uniquely it's the only church to lie directly on its ancient route, once used by pilgrims travelling between Canterbury and Winchester cathedrals. The original church was built in the 12th century, though it fell into ruin by the 18th century. Between 1848 and 1850, the church was rebuilt by architect Henry Widger, incorporating elements of the original structure. In a nearby graveyard rests a memorial to Eva and Arnold, the renowned actress and singer for whom Guildford's Theatre is named. But beneath the beauty lies a darker side. Visitors have reported strange glowing lights flickering amongst the trees surrounding the hill. Others claim to have seen a ghostly figure of a nun dressed in black silently walking along the path, only to vanish into the mist. Is she a lost spirit from a forgotten sisterhood, a weary pilgrim, or just legend passed through generations? Whatever the case, St Martha on the Hill remains a place where the veil between past and present seems especially thin. We now travel to Egham, a town on the edge of Surrey and Berkshire. At the bottom of Egham Hill there once stood a grand Italian-style villa named Hillside. In 1909, the owner, Charles Barrett, rented the property to a Mr. Stephen Phillips, an actor and well-known poet, for the yearly sum of £70, which Phillips paid in advance. But within just a month, Phillips fled the house, claiming it was haunted, and demanded his rent back. Barrett refused and quickly rented the property out again. This could have been the end of the story, but Phillips was a public figure, well connected in fashionable London circles. He sold his story to the press, and soon the tale of the haunted house in Egham was all over London. It began with strange footsteps all around the house and whispering voices. Then doors opened and closed by themselves. Phillips' 4-year-old daughter started speaking of a nasty old man who would stand and stare at her whenever she was left alone in a room. Disturbed, Phillips asked locals if the house had a reputation. They said no. But before the villa was built, the land had belonged to a farm run by a cruel man, known for being a drunk and for abusing his wife. His daughter had died under suspicious circumstances, with local rumours suggesting he may have killed her in a drunken rage. Fearing for his daughter's safety, Phillips chose to leave Hillside. His story was picked up by the Daily Express and Daily Mail, both publishing dramatic accounts of the haunting. Though they didn't reveal the exact address, the Daily Express gave enough detail for locals to identify the house. Phillips soon found it impossible to rent out the villa again, and sued both newspapers for loss of income. The Express settled out of court, reportedly paying £200. The Daily Mail, however, chose to fight. When the case reached court, it caused a sensation. People expected a showdown over the existence of ghosts, with top lawyers debating the supernatural. The Mail's defence was that ghosts don't exist, and therefore no landlord could lose money over ghost stories. But the judge ruled otherwise. He declared the existence of ghosts irrelevant. What mattered was that the Mail's article had made the public believe the house was haunted. As a result, Barrett won the case and was awarded £100 plus costs. The Mail appealed, arguing that the real reason the house couldn't be rented was due to its proximity to the newly developed motor car route, which made the area noisy and polluted. On these grounds, the Mail won the appeal. Hillside Villa still stands today, but now converted into a block of flats overlooking the busy A30, a major route from London to the Thames Valley. The ghost, it seems, has either moved on or finally gone silent. No recent reports suggest it lingers still. Thanks for listening to Surrey Supernatural. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next time folks, stay curious and as always, stay spooky.